What is up, YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2019 Back-to-Back Battles. Today, we are using the Zekrom and Reshiram team once again with Zekrom, Reshiram, Tapu Fini, Kartana, Hitmontop, and the Heatran. So, if you haven't checked out the previous episode, I had everyone go check it out. We haven't really been playing that well with this team, and I feel like that this team is a little bit complicated to understand, and it's probably not the best built team out there, but it's an interesting one for sure, and I really want to use a lot of these Pokemon on the series, so really thought I'd just give it out a try because I feel like it's really hard to bring Zekrom and Reshiram, but let's go find some games. Again, 175 likes is the goal for a QR code of this team within 2 weeks. If we get all the episodes with Zekrom and Reshiram featured on with 175 likes on each of the videos, I will post a QR code of this team. But otherwise, I feel like it's just hard to use. Like, this team is super hard to use. As we find Quinn here from Canada with, this is Angel Miranda's team from Regionals. Yes, it is. So we see Groudon, Xerneas, Venusaur, the Incineroar, Heatran, and Kartana. So this is gonna be an interesting matchup for sure. I think Heatran's actually coming. Alright, Heatran's gonna be good in this one, I think. I like Reshiram. I like Hitmontop. Do I like Fini? I kinda like Fini. Yeah, I think Fini's pretty good. Just a support, I feel like, though. And Kartana, did I bring Kartana? I don't feel like I bring Kartana. It's decent though, but I just don't feel like I bring it. I think I bring Reshiram, Hitmontop, the Tapu Fini, and Heatran, which is really weird. We're actually bringing solo Reshiram, which I really didn't think I would ever bring, but yeah, here we are. So I know this team. Angel actually released a team report. It actually came out today when I'm recording this. When you're watching this, it's, I think, Saturday. It's because I have to record a bunch of videos because I'm studying for midterm, so it's really hard to actually find time for recording. So I have to pre-record a few episodes. We're gonna lead Reshiram Hitmontop though. From what I remember, I'll link the report down below, but it's Choice Banded Groudon. I've used this team before too. So Choice Banded Groudon, Standard Venusaur. Okay, so it's gonna be the Venusaur plus Groudon lead. I feel like Life Orb Blue Flare should knock out Groudon. It's a Life Orb Blue Flare from Reshiram in the Sun. I really want to see a KO Groudon if it can. I could see Protect Venusaur. I feel like Sleep Powder into Reshiram and attack with Groudon is your play here. I think I'm going to get the Fake Out chip into Groudon, Protect Reshiram, and then next turn, like, even though this doesn't seem optimal, you never want to Fake Out Protect because it's like momentum you could be getting, but I feel like this works in this case because I get a little bit of chip. Sleep Power going to go out into that Reshiram slot as anticipated. Groudon does flinch here. I could Wide Guard, but he's probably going to Stomping Tantrum if he does have the if he has the Stomping Tantrum. So I'm just going to go on a Fini, prevent that Sleep Powder from going off, and Blue Flare to Groudon. Hopefully Blue Flare knocks it out, because if I get a Blue Flare off into that Groudon, that would be insane, right? And if it knocks out the Groudon, I know the Groudon has special defensive estimate. I can't remember the exact number. I think it's like 4 HP 140. I used a different spread when I used this team, so can't really say that. So Sleep Powder into the Hitmontop slot actually. Blue Flare does connect, so how much damage is it doing to Groudon? Oh, Reshiram, you are beautiful. You are beautiful. So we knock out the Groudon immediately. Reshiram putting in some work right here. Let's see what my opponent decides to bring out next. It's going to be what exactly? Xerneas is going to come out actually. Okay. I think Heatran has a really fun time against my opponent's team now. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to Blue Flare the Xerneas, and I might as well just go on to Heatran. I guess you could double up my Reshiram with Moonblast plus Sludge Bomb, but I'm not exactly sure if you're going to make that play. We're actually going to see the switch into Incineroar. So my opponent has Incineroar. Alright. That's fine. I mean, Blue Flare is going to do a lot, and I mean a lot to this Xerneas. So I'm okay with this because of the fact that as long as I can get a Roar off into the Xerneas slot, I feel pretty good about my spot. So we'll bring out Heatran here. We're going to see... Ooh, Protect. Okay. That's fine too. So we'll blue flare into the protect. We'll go for... Yeah, so that's interesting. My opponent would just want to go for the fake out Geomancy this turn then. Which makes sense because you don't know my speed on Reshiram, but the Xerneas should be max speed if it is the same on the team report. We will go for the roar and a blue flare because I either get a bunch of damage off or I get to roar out the Xerneas. We're going to see the fake on the Reshiram, so not wanting to take that damage. We are going to see Geomancy, and this is looking like the beginning of the end for my opponent because, yeah, I just get a roar off into this Xerneas slot. The Venusaur on my opponent's side is pretty worthless. I feel like it just doesn't do anything anymore. A blue flare and an earth power should knock out Incineroar if I do connect it, and that would be absolutely huge. So let's see here. Reshiram flinches. We roar out the Xerneas, so bye-bye Xerneas. Bring out the Venusaur. Yeah, I'm actually really surprised we didn't see the roar in the Heatran, but even then I could have just protected Reshiram and went for the roar the following turn, and Moonblast knockoff is not KOing Heatran, so I don't think my opponent had really much outs here. We'll double up the Incineroar since Venusaur really, again, can't do much to my team. I have a safety goggles on Heatran. We also, Sludge Bomb's not really going to do that much to Reshiram. Blue Flare is going to come out. It does hit the Incineroar, so let's see how much this does in the sun. Ooh, big damage, but not that big, actually. That actually did a lot less than I thought. Her power going to come out. Is this Assault Vest? No, it's Barry. Wow. I'm just actually surprised that Life Orb Blue Flare in the sun does that little to Incineroar, but Incineroar is that bulky. It's kind of crazy. We're going to see the knockout probably into the Heatran slot. Oh, it's actually in the Reshiram. Okay. Critical hit, that's fine. Really doesn't matter to me. Gets rid of my Life Orb. Sun's fades. So the Venusaur is actually slower than my Heatran now. And I can go Hitmontop right here. Like, I don't see how Xerneas is going to really beat me. And my opponent's offensive pressure against the Heatran's really, really limited now. So I think I just fake out the Incineroar. I go for a Heat Wave here because if Incineroar stays in, I get some chip onto it. If it withdraws, I get chip damage and break the Venusaur's potential sash. And afterward, I can Earth Power the Incineroar slot. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good because we're going to see the Incineroar do withdraw on their Xerneas, so it's going to be taking a Heat Wave, which it doesn't really appreciate. And Heat Wave is going to do good amount to the Venusaur, and Venusaur really, again, can't do that much to my team. So Fake Out and Heat Wave. As doesn't even bring Venusaur to his sash, actually. Sludge Bomb going to come out, but again, not really doing too much to my Hitmontop. We'll activate my Berry. And Hitmontop can get right out of there and go out into my Feeny. Yeah, like I'm feeling pretty good about my situation. Very good about my situation, as we will bring out the Tapu Fini. And I guess I go for Icy Wind and Heat Wave. Yeah, because Soak is... I could Swagger here, but I might as well just get the speed advantage. Because I don't think you're Geomancy. I guess you could Geomancy technically right now and switch out Venusaur and Heatran. But even if you do that, like, I just don't see a point. Because again, I could still roar you out since you have your Venusaur alive. So if anything, I think you sack your Venusaur right here and attempt to Geomancy. We are going to see that the Geomancy attempt is going to be made. But I mean, I'm still getting a bunch of damage off. Icy Wind does connect with the Venusaur. So Icy Wind into the Xerneas and a Heat Wave into the Xerneas as well. Like, that's pretty good. Like, that's still pretty good. So Heat Wave going to come out. Yeah, that's good damage. There's no point of Icy Winding again, is there? Incineroar going to come out. You're probably going to fake out my Heatran, I think, if anything. I think I'm just going to go out into my Hitmontop and click Protect with Heatran. Because I'm pretty sure Heatran will just win the point. Because +2 Moonblast into Heatran really doesn't do this much damage. And Angel's Xerneas did have, like, very little speed. So we'll bring out the Hitmontop here. We'll go for Helping Hand Earth Power in Incineroar, since I know this Incineroar didn't carry Protect. And also the fact that, like, most Incineroars wouldn't carry Protect anyway, so I'd still go for it regardless. So let's see. It's going to be a Fake Out into that Heatran slot. No surprise there. And the Geomancy does come out. So yeah, you could go for Gleam regardless. Doesn't really matter to me that much. I guess 2 crit Moonblast could do it. No, we always helping hand Earth Power because the one that can do the most damage to me is that Incineroar. We'll go for. I could also go for Fake Out Incineroar Heat Wave. I mean, yeah, I could do that, but I'd rather just try to get rid of Incineroar immediately. So we'll go for the helping hand. You're probably not going to protect here, I would imagine, because you are worried about Feint. But you actually are going to protect, so that works out for me. And we'll go for the Earth Power. Knocks out Incineroar, and that should be game. Last Ditch Protect. I guess my opponent was really worried about the Fake Out, but I just don't have a reason to because I don't want Incineroar to get a crit knockoff, which is going to do more than any crit Moonblast from that Xerneas. We'll go for, I guess, Wide Guard here, because you're going to Gleam here 100%, I guess. Because you can't even knock out Heatran anyway. No, just Earth Power. And even if you Moonblast my Heatran, again, it's not doing that much damage, so just going to try to avoid these misses as much as I can. We're going to see Moonblast into the Hitmontop slot, so Hitmontop going to go down. Earth Power might not knock out Xerneas at this range, but as long as 2 Earth Powers do, I'm in a fantastic spot regardless. Yeah. There's no way my opponent lives. And crit Moonblast isn't going to KO. A special attack drop from Moonblast isn't going to matter. I have 100% win con right here. So we'll bring out Feeny. And we'll go for the Icy Wind, I guess. Yeah, I might as well just go for an Icy Wind. Not like I can attack anything else. I guess that's the one downside with this Feeny is like just no attack pressure. We'll go for the Icy Wind and we'll go for the Earth Power and his Xerneas. Moonblast going to come out into the Tapu Fini. Yeah, but just doesn't really do too much. It doesn't even knock out the Tapu Fini. We'll be able to proc Berry. And let's see if Icy Wind actually knocks out. Single target Icy Wind. I think it's going to be like a 1 HP. Oh wow, it actually does knock out Xerneas. And that would be good game to my opponent. So overall, this game, it was just me focusing on the Groudon. My opponent gave me Groudon immediately and I was just able to KO it, which was absolutely huge because of the fact that just KOing the Groudon allowed my Heatran to sweep. You saw how my opponent really didn't have a Heatran answer afterward. And I think that was like the best part. Because of the fact that once the Groudon was gone out of the equation, I basically swept with Heatran. My opponent couldn't touch Heatran. Geomancied, I roared. Yeah, so I think maybe like there could have been some instant different changes, like maybe if Xerneas Geomancied right away, or so it could have got +1 Moonblast, or if it went for the roar. I mean, not the roar. If you went for Moonblast straight away instead of attacking, like there could have been some different scenarios right there, but I end up getting DC, so I'm gonna have to restart my 3DS. I don't know why this always happens, but we'll be right back with the second game of today's episode. Alright, so we're back searching for another game, but yeah, I felt like once Groudon went down, that was just basically the start of the end, because it would have been really, really hard for my opponent to ever really get into a situation like just my Heatran basically took nothing from my opponent's team, especially since I got an Intimidate off into the Incineroar. A knockoff wasn't doing anything. You couldn't Sleep Powder even to try to mitigate turns because I had Misty Terrain and I had Safety Goggles. I don't think I ever revealed that to my opponent, but I did have that Safety Goggles option. There was really just no out, I think, for my opponent. And solo Reshiram actually coming through. Now we just need a game where Reshiram and Zekrom can come together to destroy my opponent, as we got a 1629 rated player from Japan as our second opponent of today's episode, using the team of Groudon, Crobat, the Incineroar, Tapu Koko, Heatran, and the Xerneas. So this is going to be a harder matchup for sure. The reason why this is going to be a harder matchup is because of the fact that Crobat with Taunt can deny my Heatran's ability to... Okay, so basically Crobat can deny my ability to roar, so that's something that has to be concerning, as well as... Okay, so I don't need Tapu Fini in this game. Tapu Fini really was only there just to stop the Sleep Powders. I guess I could help. It could help with terrain control, but I feel like Kartana might actually be better in this game. What do I feel? Yeah, I kind of like that. Because I think Kartana could be really great in an endgame. So I think I'm going to bring Groudon. I mean, not Groudon. Reshiram. Hitmontop, Heatran, Kartana. Just got to figure out the order. Because I don't have to go Hitmontop lead again. I could lead double fire. Like, realistically, I could. I might as well just go Reshiram, Hitmontop. with Kartana and Heatran in the back. Yeah, I like that. I mean, I have no reason not to lead Hitmontop because I have Helping Hand pressure, I have Fake Out pressure. I get to see what my opponent really brings out here. So let's see what my opponent's going to decide to do. I think Pokemon you're going to bring Groudon, Xerneas. I don't think you bring Crobat, but you could bring Crobat just for the control. I could see Tapu Koko for sure. We're going to see the Crobat and Incineroar lead. Okay, so you have to have Groudon in the back. You might not bring Xerneas because I don't think Xerneas is that great against my team. We will lead Reshiram and Hitmontop here, which is pretty good here. Because right off the bat, I could just go for the Blue Flare and a Crobat, which I don't think knocks out, but will do a massive amount of damage. And we can go for the Fake Out into the Incineroar. Unless this is fast Incineroar. Let's see. My Hitmontop, I think, went first. Yes, my Hitmontop went first. I guess the only thing is if Crobat has the... What's it called? If Crobat has the... I don't know what a Quick Guard. Yeah, if Crobat has Quick Guard, you can deny my Fake Out. But that's really a rare move. Usually around Taunt, Haze, Super Fang / Brave Bird, and then Tailwind. So yeah, I could see Taunt into my Reshiram if my opponent knows that Reshiram does have Tailwind. But Fake Out into into Incineroar and just going for the Blue Flare I think is pretty fine here. Of course, I could see Incineroar switching out too, as we are going to see the Incineroar actually switch out into the Groudon right here. So I'm guaranteed to knock out onto Crobat unless it does have like a strange item like a Focus Sash, which has been surging recently. I've seen a lot more Focus Sash Crobats lately. Let's see what my opponent brings out. We will Fake Out the Groudon. Super Fang actually just going to come out straight into the Reshiram. Okay. Which is okay, as I will get a Blue Flare off. It does connect with the Crobat, so goodbye Crobat. Oh, it is Focus Sash, okay. Did we get a burn? No burn, okay. But I mean, Blue Flare should be able to knock out the Groudon. I'm actually surprised because I could Tailwinded right away. But I guess that's alright. I could Blue Flare close combat. I mean, the thing is, Jolly Max Speed Groudon, I've really never seen in this format. So I think Reshiram should outspeed. I think I'll just close combat the Crobat and Blue Flare. Crobat can't knock me out anyway. We're just going to see it protect, so I'm guessing that's Tailwind coming out? Yeah, Tailwind's going to come out. So I guess I could have went for... Maybe Tailwind Wide Guard was a safe play because my opponent apparently was never going to taunt the Reshiram, so... Yeah, I think Tailwind would have been better. I should have probably thought about that more. But we will be able to knock out Crobat at least, so... No more speed control on my opponent's side, so once I stall out the Tailwind, I feel pretty good about my spot, but let's see what my opponent's going to bring out for the next Pokemon. Probably Incineroar coming out and just going to draw off a Fake Out. Xerneas going to come out. Moonblast? I kind of just want to Blue Flare the Groudon. The problem is if I Blue Flare Groudon, I mean, I knock it out. Actually, I feel that's fine. I'm going to Blue Flare to Groudon. And I'm going to Wide Guard to prevent... Because if we don't go for... Since Stomping Tantrum Groudon is super rare, especially on a Protect Groudon, I feel like I can get a Blue Flare off if you Geomancy, and you're good Geomancy. And even if I can't roll you out, I feel like Kartana plus Heatran in the back can still win the game regardless. So yeah, I think I'm still going to make that play. Let's see what my opponent's going to do afterward. So there is the Geomancy. We will get a Blue Flare off. Oh, wow. So my opponent actually does have to Stomping Tantrum. That's actually really huge because my Reshiram goes down. Man, it's Life Orb too. Okay. So Stomping Tantrum was not what I was expecting. Shoot, that probably puts me in a losing position. I think I gotta go Cart. Double out on a Heatran. Even then, is this... How many turns of Tailwind do you have left? I think you have 2 more. Yeah, I think this game's done. I don't think I'll let Fire Punch or Life Orb boosted. Yeah, I definitely won't. Yeah, that's game. Oh, man. The one Stomping Tantrum Life Orb Groudon. Never seen that one before. I've seen Bandit Stomping Tantrum, and that's the only Groudon or Assault Vest Stomping Tantrum. Life Orb was not the one I was anticipating, so, oh man, that screws me over big time. I mean, there's really no point. Moonblast's gonna come out, Fire Punch gonna come out most likely. Oh wait, he doubled? I guess he was scared of a Sash then. Okay. Is there a chance now? I guess, maybe. I mean, he's gonna Stomping Tantrum and he's gonna do something, right? I'm gonna Wide Guard. I gotta hope for a choke, I think. I'll protect Heatran. Wide Guard again, because it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Let's see. We're gonna see Dazzling Gleam come out. I really wonder what kind of Groudon this is. I mean, we saw Moonblast. Sun fades, Tailwind peers out, which is really bad. I mean, I'm really curious right now. But I think that was a really good play on my opponent's side. I think Wide Guard was actually a mistake. I should have went for the close combat. I was hoping my opponent would just Moonblast, so Wide Guard really wouldn't matter there. But it looks like my opponent was like, okay, don't knock out Hitmontop, and then I can trap in this into this exact scenario where I was trying to get Kartana in. Well, Helping Hand, Heat Wave, I guess, and hope for a crit on the Groudon at this point. We gotta hope we outspeed too. So let's see. We'll find out if it's Jolly Groudon, I guess, right here. Dazzling Gleam. So Hitmontop's gonna go down, and I really need a crit, but even if I get a crit, I just don't see myself getting out. And it's actually Jolly Groudon. It's actually Jolly Groudon. So if it's Jolly Groudon, I don't think I had a chance, because if it's max speed, it outspeeds my Kartana, and I can't win the game, because my out there was hope that Kartana outspeeds the Groudon. I'll live a +2 Moonblast. I get a Leaf Blade off in the Groudon, and then I can roar out the Xerneas. But this is a Jolly Life Orb Groudon we're facing, people. With Stomping Tantrum. No way I could break through that. Alright. So we're going to go down to the second game. A bit unfortunate about how that one worked out, but yeah, just some surprises from my opponent's side. The Groudon was super cool though, because normally what the Groudon we would see, we've seen a lot of Berry ones, but we've seen Choice Banded, as indicated by like players like Angel Miranda, like in the first game we played. But yeah, a Life Orb Stomping. We've seen a few Life Orb Stomping, Life Orb Groudons, but usually they carry like Precipice Blades, Fire Punch, and then maybe Rock Slide / Stone Edge, and or Substitute potentially, but never have I seen Life Orb Stomping Tantrum before, so that's kind of cool. I think we're just gonna move it to third game. Yeah, we're gonna move it to the third game. We'll be right back with the third game of today's episode. Alright, we're back looking for a third game, and I do have to apologize, there was actually a mistake. Apparently Heatran's max speed is 141. I thought it was 143 for some reason. So Groudon could have been at max speed, so we could have actually had a chance depending on the situation. Just Wide Guard was a mistake. A rematch against Quinn? I am recording this like an hour later. It's because I had class in between, so I had to go to my class. But oh man, we get a rematch. Oh boy. Okay, it should be interesting because all right. Best of 3 or best of 2, who knows? Maybe Quinn will get his revenge. We'll find out. He has to preserve the Groudon this time for sure. Groudon absolutely has to be preserved. Yeah, we'll find out what my opponent really brings though. I do want to go with, do you think Venusaur is going to be brought? It did nothing. It did absolutely nothing in the last game. I feel like Venusaur shouldn't be brought, so I'm thinking Feeny doesn't be brought here. I feel like I bring Kartana this time. Just because, like, I literally got Misty Terrain up, he couldn't do anything. So I don't get what's the point of bringing Sleep Powder anymore. I'm definitely leaving Reshiram again, and the Hitmontop I think is really solid here. Let's go Kartana and Heatran, I think. Yeah, I like that, because I don't see how he really stops this. Like, Heatran's still going to dominate my opponent's entire team, I think. Reshiram could put in some more work. We'll find out here. Solo Reshiram, 2 games in 1 episode. I'm down for that. Let's see how this works. It's really going to come down to situations like... I think it just... I don't know what my opponent really leads against this, because I don't think you have an effective lead. If you lead Venusaur again, I just don't think you should. I realistically don't think you should, but wow, my opponent actually breaks the Venusaur with the... okay, it's going to be with the Incineroar this time. I'll lead Reshiram plus the Hitmontop here. Venusaur probably doesn't protect here. I probably just fake out Venusaur, go for Heatran switch. Yeah, because I could Heat Wave the following turn. I like that a lot. We'll go Heatran here. We'll click fake out into the Venusaur. I guess the worst case is if Venusaur protects and there's a knockoff from Incineroar. Not sure if he would do that though. The momentum is a little bit strange if you do that, because if I fake out Incineroar and get like a Tailwind up, my opponent could be absolutely screwed. He also might be worried. Well, I already revealed all 4 of my moves with him on top, right? I revealed Wide Guard. Did I reveal Helping Hand though? Yes, I did. I did reveal Helping Hand. So my opponent knows the moveset, so you don't have to worry about Feint, I guess. We'll go on a Heatran here. We'll see what my opponent does here. As Venusaur is actually going to retreat. Okay. I don't agree with the Groudon play, if anything. Because, yeah, Groudon comes out, but, like, what if I just went for the Blue Flare, like, fake out Blue Flare into that slot? You have to fake out here, yeah. Into the Heatran slot, yeah, okay. We'll find out what my opponent decides to lock himself into, but I'm just going to protect my Heatran here and go for the close combat into the Incineroar, because even if, like, let's say Incineroar switches out, well, it depends on what the Groudon does. I'm thinking Stomping Tantrum potentially here into the Heatran. So we'll see what my opponent does. We're going to see both my opponent's Pokemon stay in, and if he Precipice Blaze, I just get a free switch into Reshiram, I feel like. Stomping Tantrum does come out into the Heatran slot, no surprise. We'll get a close combat off into the Incineroar for some decent damage. Really good damage, actually. And let's see what the Incineroar does. Going to be the Flare Blitz and the Hitmontop, which probably... Actually, no, you were Intimidate, right? I should survive? Yeah, perfect. And you take a lot of damage, and you don't activate your Berry, which is really good. So I'll be able to retreat my Hitmontop, go out into my Reshiram right here. And now I get to click Earth Power and Blue Flare. It's the exact same situation as Game 1, where if I had the Blue Flare, I just win the game into the Groudon. So you should switch out Groudon 100%. Xerneas doesn't want to take the Blue Flare. Heatran doesn't want to take the Blue Flare because, yes, you have Flash Round and Heatran. Guess what? Turbo Blaze ignores that. So, yeah, I can basically get a double knockout here. Guarantee at least 1 knockout, or just take a bunch of damage into my opponent's team. So I'm just going to Blue Flare right here. There's no drawback to going for the Blue Flare, as the Incineroar going to switch out into the Xerneas on my opponent's side. Okay. Which is fine. And let's see what my opponent decides to do with your Groudon. Stay in. Blue Flare. I do connect, so that should be a knockout into the Groudon. Yeah. So I do knock out the Groudon. Great. I get damage into Xerneas, which is awesome as well. That might put in range of Smart Strike from my Kartana. So, yeah, I'm liking this turn. That took it a little bit better than expected. Guessing the Incineroar comes out. Can't I just click Blue Flare though into the Xerneas? As yeah, Incineroar's gonna come out. I mean, I really just don't see a play you have here. I could even click Earth Power into the Incineroar because you might just go for like a Moonblast here and a knockoff. Although I really don't think. Maybe a fake out Moonblast into Reshiram. I could see that play. Otherwise, I just don't think you have another play. I think I am going to go for the Roar. Do I go for the Roar? I could go for the Earth Power. Let me think about the consequences. I guess Xerneas gets a Geomancy. Would you go for Geomancy? Not exactly too sure. I think I'm just going to Earth Power the Incineroar and Blue Flare, because even if you fake out Heatran, let's say, I get a bunch of damage off no matter what. We're going to see a fake out come out into the Heatran slot. Let's see what the Xerneas goes for. Gonna have to go for that Geomancy. Okay. So if I hit a Blue Flare, even at +2, this is Sun Boosted Life Orb. Should still do about, I would say, 50%. And if I get a burn, that's pretty much seals it up here. So let's see what my opponent does. Let's see. Well, if we hit the blue flare. If we don't hit the blue flare, that's kind of annoying. Although I don't think the end of the world, because I could still roar the following turn. As we do get a blue flare off into the Xerneas. Look at that damage. That is absolutely beautiful damage. As Heatran will be unable to move, which is again fine. I can go for Earth Power into the Incineroar. And yeah, I just don't see a counterplay. Even if we go Venusaur, like Venusaur breaks its sash, and then I can go for Heat Wave the following turn. Unless you're planning to activate the Incineroar's Berry, I guess. I could even Roar here if I really, really want to. I think Roar might actually be a decent play here. Roar and Protect. Yeah, I could see that play working. Because I'm not sure. You could Moonblast knockoff, but that's not going to KO. You are going to make that Venusaur play. So that does make a lot of sense here. No surprise. And what this basically does is Xerneas' boost no longer gone. Yeah, you even Protect. So yeah, I could have went for the Incineroar, but knockoff and the Moonblast doesn't knock out. And I really doubt you would make that play when I could easily just go for the Earth Power into your Venusaur. So we'll go for the Roar into the Xerneas slot. We'll bring out the Incineroar once again. So Incineroar, you know, brought out, but yeah, Xerneas lost his boost. Sun should be expiring, shouldn't it? Pretty sure Sun should be expiring. Yeah, perfect. I can get a Tail. I don't even need Tailwind. My Kartana wins at this point. I'm just gonna Earth Power the Incineroar because once Incineroar gets knocked out, I literally win the Kartana, and I'll go for a Fusion Flare into the Venusaur slot. So nice. Even if you fake out one, doesn't matter. Fake out the Heatran, that's fine. We'll go for the Fusion Flare into Venusaur. And again, you can't touch Heatran, which is the big problem with, I feel like, the team my opponent has by bringing the Mons. Because at least Kartana, yeah, it doesn't switch into Heatran, but at least you have Sacred Sword pressure. These Pokemon don't. Sleep Powder, Reshiram, Voice Attack. I don't really think that matters in the long run. Because again, you can't beat Heatran. Like, I still am looking for a Heatran answer on my opponent's side. You would have to sack Incineroar or you lose Xerneas. No matter what, you lose the game no matter what. You couldn't beat Heatran regardless. You lost to Groudon immediately again too. So I was just able to eliminate my opponent's team. So able to pull out a win. Funny, 2 wins in a row against the same opponent. But I feel like I like Heatran that matchup a lot. Heatran puts in a ton of work. So does Reshiram, ironically, because Blue Flare is just able to knock out the Groudon immediately, and that's the power of like a Life Orb Blue Flare in the sun. It can do good damage, but yeah. Otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. 2 wins, 1 loss in today's episode. I hope everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2019 Baek Battles. If you did like it, please leave a like down below. Shows your support. Reshiram, the hero of truth, did come through. Otherwise, if you do want to try out this team, there is a pay spin of this team down below if you do want to use it. And of course, there is a potential getting a QR code. All we have to do is hit the 175 like goal on all the videos we use Zekrom and Reshiram. So if you do want to see a QR code, you have 2 weeks. After I finish using this team, all the videos have to hit 175 likes, and then if it does, I'll post a QR code. Otherwise, you can check out the rest of my stuff down below, such as my social medias, my Twitch channel, where if you want to check out awesome VGC 2019 live streams, always highly recommend go checking it out down below in the description. And if you want to support the channel, there is Patreon. So also feel free to leave a comment down below as I do read them. Otherwise, I think that is pretty much it. Have a great day, people. Until we battle again, I'll catch y'all later.